Heather, it's good to have you back.
Yes, good to be back. Hi.
So if people haven't met you before, this is Heather Best from So Happy Jane, one of my very favorite independent yarn dyers and now designers as well. Yay! So Happy Jane is SEW happyjane.com. Check you out on Instagram. I'll put all the links to your social media stuff down below in the video description. But we're talking today about a new knit-along collaboration you and I are going to do.
Yes, it's very exciting.
Tell us about it.
Okay, I will tell you about it. So you can see in the background a little bit. I'll pull this a little closer.
Pull your person over. Join
Maybe
us.
I'll pull it onto my head. Try not to tip it over. So I released this cowl called the Scandi Bloom Cowl in January. And Jana, you called me and said, hey, I think it would be really fun to do a knit along. What would you think about me doing this cowl in fingering weight? And I was like, I think I need to test it to make sure that the little flowers are going to look okay and that it's going to stand up and you'll be able to see the pattern, because I didn't know what the fabric would be like.
Right.
So,
we didn't want it to be schlumpy where you couldn't see the blooms. Right. But I thought about that because the yarn that I have that's from you, the yarn I've purchased from your website, has all been fingering. And so I haven't ever had your DK. And that's why I thought first I was going to knit with stash, but then you're like, no, I'll send you some lovely colors for this. And I'm like, yay, yeah. Can't turn that down.
And I had done a poll on Instagram and said, hey, which colors would you pick? And you picked these beautiful blues. And I was like, okay, that's what Jana wants. She wants these beautiful blues. So that's what I sent you.
Yes.
And then I got to work and I cast on a cowl in some burgundy, like a burgundy, very
tonal, yeah.
It's a true tonal. There's a lot of texture going on in this yarn.
I love that so much.
So,
yeah.
And then I paired it with a very subtle speckle called Pistachio Cream.
Nice.
You can see here. And it worked, and it looks so good. And
fantastic.
Also, I love wearing it. I went to the Oregon coast this week. I just got back. And I wore this every day under my windbreaker, because it's like the perfect weight. So if you need like a deep winter cowl, then the DK is your friend.
Yeah.
But if you're like a little hot, if you run hot, or if you are in a place where it's not super cold, but it's kind of cold, like the Oregon coast or the Washington coast, or, the mountains in the summertime.
Right.
Then this fingering weight version is really nice. So I'm going to release them as two totally separate patterns to make sure people don't get confused about like the gauge and the repeats and
what they need. Sure.
And what they need. So this is the fingering weight version. And I just love how cute the tiny little blooms turned out.
I know, that's fantastic. And also people should realize that it is a fingering weight, but it's double because it's knitted in a tube. And so
I'll show that so you can kind of see what's happening. This is my next one that I'm knitting. I dyed up some minis in these fun summery colors and with a periwinkle blue color. So it's like they're totally different, but fun, right?
Absolutely.
Knitting it in the round. You're knitting it as a tube. You do a provisional cast on down here.
Which I will teach you, because let me just pause you for this. Is a good time to pause and say this knit along that we're doing with your yarn and your pattern, I will be doing tutorial videos. So if you've never done a provisional cast on, we're going to show you a couple of different ways to do it.
Yep.
And then, or at least one.
So I love a crochet hook free provisional cast on. That's my preferred method.
Right.
I feel like I never have the dang crochet hook where I need it. And also I swear I have tried it every which way, and maybe I'll watch your tutorial and I'll get better at it. But every time I go to pull it out at the end, I've done something wonky and it doesn't pull free easily. So I saw a tutorial from Suzanne Bryan.
Right. Master hand knitter. Very well respected.
Yes, who taught me how to do a crochet hook free provisional cast on,
Right.
and that is what I use in this pattern. And
Yeah.
I'm also using um,
Oh, a barber cord.
barber cords, try-on
Okay.
cords, because then you just can so easily put your knitting needles in when it's time to Kitchener and pull them right around without any extra stress. So I
That's
love
a good tip.
that.
Yes. So I'll be doing tutorials about how to manage your yarn, how to do the provisional cast on, how to do the color work,
Okay.
maintain your tension. And then of course, once you've knitted your tube, you got to connect it.
Yeah.
And so I will be showing you all of that. We'll have a couple of tutorial videos. I'm not sure how many it'll take. I'm guessing maybe 3.
Okay. That's exciting.
I'm guessing, but you know, I always say that, and then I come up with more things to say, and then I'm like, well, maybe I should film that. And so we'll see.
There's so many fun things to learn with this. The other thing that we can talk about is the difference in your gauge between a stockinette and color work, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Most people, it's not the same. So that's an interesting topic
And
too,
that's because of tension.
and it's partly because of tension, but I also don't you find that like this fabric is just much more dense. So is that a tension issue or a gauge issue? Like
Well, but gauge is all about
gauge is
tension.
tension, right?
So it's
Okay.
about, in my opinion, when you do color work, it's about the limitations of the float. So if your stitches are spaced out and your floats are the proper length, then you shouldn't have too much of an issue with your stitches per inch. But yeah, I mean, the float's creating that extra layer of fabric, you
Let's
know.
just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful the floats are on
Let's
the
do
let's
That's
take a
amazing.
moment. I I love the inside of color work. Love it.
Yes.
And I like to
And it
catch
looks to me like you don't have any super long floats
nope,
there.
I don't let more than 5 stitches go.
Right.
And on DK, it's 3.
Yeah.
DK, I'm catching every 3 stitches, but I'm excited to see what you have to share with us about catching floats, and maybe I'll learn something new. I learned recently, like, I used to think you have to, like, twist your yarn around, and it was such a mess, and then I finally learned, like, no, there's this really cool way you can do it if you're willing to do two-handed, which is how I knit color work with 2 hands, and like, throwing and catch you just catch it. It's so
Yeah.
fun. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you teach us.
Yay. So you have people can order that very yarn, right?
Yeah, well, yes, on Friday, May, we're in the month of May. Like, wait, what month is it?
You just came back from like a little break, so you're like, woo, you're
Day even is it,
you haven't
actually.
quite re-engaged yet. I don't blame you.
I did dye, a lot of yarn already today and clean up a flooded dishwasher that my
Oh
plumbing and my
no.
backed up in the dye studio, so it's been a full get back to
Yeah, so no wonder. Yeah. So, but
anyway,
you're gonna have kits for this loveliness available on your website Friday, May 12th.
yes, at 4 PM Mountain Time, the kits will go live. I'll have this original colors, then
Uh-huh.
I also have a very like, it's very close to this original. I'm gonna twist this so you can see what the colors look like because I dyed slightly different. I only needed 5 minis for the fingering instead of, and the DK you need 6 minis.
Okay.
But obviously you use a little less yarn when you're doing fingering. So I've also got the kit from the original
Ooh,
weight cowl with sort of like peachy sort of.
nice.
This is more a I wish I had the light that I want. I'm gonna put this guy up and see if it
Okay, if
helps
that
us
helps.
to not get so much reflection
Ooh, I love that
on the
purpley
colors.
speckle business. That's yes.
Yeah, fun, right? So there's
Super.
this
Now,
kit.
are those 20-gram minis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic.
And then I did this sort of like blues and pinks, which I showed you
That's
uh,
beautiful.
in the one that I'm knitting. So if you have like Advent minis that you need to use up in sort of, they need to be very lightly speckled and probably lighter colors. Or you
Okay.
could flip it. You could do a light main color and dark blooms.
Oh, yeah, you could do it opposite.
Yeah, that works too.
Ooh, this can be really fun to see what people choose and what they throw up because we definitely want to see your photos on Instagram or Facebook or wherever.
For sure, because there's going to be prizes. I've got some prizes planned.
Woo! I'll find prizes. So we want people to hashtag Scandi Bloom Cowl.
KAL, right? Or Scandi Bloom Cowl. You want them to hashtag the knit along?
Both.
Okay.
Scandi Bloom
Cowl.
CAWC. I can't spell. Scandi Bloom
OW.
COWL and Scandi Bloom KAL or
Yes.
Cal.
That's confusing.
Yes, it is. We'll
But
find you.
but
How
it
about
will
you
be
just
sent.
tag us? How
We'll
about you just
we'll
tag us?
Yeah, you can tag us or we'll send you. I'll send out information in my newsletter, but I'll also post about it on social media so people know what to tag if they're gonna do it.
And I'll follow whatever Heather tells me about that.
Heather will be like, "Yep, here's what you do."
Okay.
Here's another fun option that, oh man, I really
Ooh,
want you to be able to see it. I'm gonna turn my computer a little bit this way and see if it's better. This has some
that's
fun, like,
lovely.
light neon-y speckles. I thought this light would be so perfect, but it's not.
Oh, well, but the thing is podcasting is hard, but you have fantastic photos on your website. So people can go
Yes,
get a more accurate color representation by just clicking to your website.
and then they can see.
Here's a question for you regarding that. That's beautiful. Will you have photos of the kits on your website before they're actually live for sale so people can like
Okay, that's
preview
a
and
good
look?
question. Well, the best way to get a preview is to be on my newsletter. Um,
Yes.
because I haven't figured out how to put a preview on my website that doesn't say sold out, which gets everybody so confused and
Twitter
panicked.
pated.
And then they're like, "Oh no, we missed it." And I'm like, "No, you
No, you didn't.
like you didn't miss anything yet.
Right.
Everything is still good." I'm going to show you one more
Ooh,
thing.
there you go. There you go.
Juicy,
Yes.
like a corally pink
Like
orange.
watermelon.
It's showing up more pink than it really is. It's really has a lot more orange to it.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's
when
lovely.
I photograph stuff on my website, I make sure the colors are right.
Are representational. I mean, obviously people's monitors are different here or there, but whatever. It's it's hard when we're podcasting because like
Yeah.
I keep having shadows here, whatever.
I want to say one more thing about kit options. If
Yes.
you happen to be a Hand-Dyed Happy Club member, you got this pairing in the mail if you got fingering weight, or you got it on DK too. So you could, I dyed it specifically with this
In
pattern
mind.
in mind because I wanted people to be able to knit.
Oh, that's amazing.
So if you
Yeah.
got the
You got your box.
box, then you got this, and there will be, I think, like 6 fingering and 6 DK of these
Ooh.
extra that I had left over after I shipped out all the boxes.
Oh, the club. Yeah. Yeah.
So those there will be some extra club boxes on my website too if you love this pairing, which I realize is sort of hard to see, but there
So
you go.
there's lots of two color options, but then also you can have the option where you have one main color and then all the minis. So
Yes.
we'll be talking about that as well as part of the tutorial will be if you're using a mini.
How do
I
you place that? How do you spread it out? Like, how many minis do you have? Yeah, we'll talk about that will be a great
You'll
thing.
talk about that. I was gonna say I'll talk about how to manage your ins.
Okay.
Between us, we got you covered.
In the pattern, there's this little box that says, "Are you using minis? Here's what I would do." And it tells people exactly what to do,
Wonderful.
what they need, and
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So when is the pattern live? Is that live on the same day as your kits?
Yes, the pattern
Okay.
will also be live on Friday. I think I'm just gonna say we're gonna do the pattern and the kits at 4 o'clock on Friday. If you are on the newsletter, you will get a discount code for the pattern.
Yes.
If you are a club members always get discounts for buying yarn off my website.
Mhm.
So it's not too late to sign up. I actually have a few spots open, like
You
12.
might. This video will go up, this podcast will go up the Tuesday of the 9th. And so the reason that we decided to do that, because today, when this is live, it's Tuesday the 9th, you'll have a couple of days to ponder and watch social media and see photos of yarn and think about that. And potentially there could still be some club spots available as well.
Yes, there might be. We'll see. We'll see what happens
You don't
this week.
know because we're pre-recording because live, right?
Right. Because life. So so there you go. What did we miss? Did we
I
forget
don't
any?
know, but I'm excited.
What's cast on day?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's me, right? Okay.
That's
We're going to cast on. I have a kid graduating toward the end of May, family stuff and all that entails. And so we also want people to have time to get the pattern and to get your yarn and to swatch.
and to swatch.
Swatching. I know it's a cowl. I understand that. But swatching, I feel like, is still important.
Well, do you want to run out of yarn or not?
Right?
Do you want your cowl to be double wide, or do you want it to be seven
Or
and
do
a
you
half
want it to choke
wide?
you or not?
Right. So there's a tiny bit of flexibility because we're knitting it in a tube, so you can kind of decide, like, all right, this is how wide I want it to be. But you
Well, we
want
want to make it lovely like Heather's, and we might want to like be mindful of the gauge.
yeah.
So we'll talk about swatching.
You've got so many things to talk about.
Yes. So we want you to have time. I will probably put up a little bit of a swatching sort of a advisory podcast, if you will, beforehand, but cast on is the 6th of June. 6/6.
Perfect. Six
Okay,
six
that's a Tuesday.
cast on.
6/6.
We got it.
Yeah, so we'll knit Scandi Bloom Kells together in June.
We might have to do a Zoom meetup at
Oh, I
some
think
point,
so.
don't you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know when, but we will.
We'll do a Zoom meetup sometime in June.
Okay.
How long do you think that this knit along is going to go?
I'm guessing it'll be like 3 videos, so probably till the end of June for sure. It depends because if people come up with questions and I'm like, "Oh, I should maybe do a Q&A," then maybe it'll be 4 videos.
Okay.
We'll kind of see because I don't want to make videos, instructional videos that are too long, but on the other hand, I want to make sure I cover all the things that occur to me. And sometimes things occur to me while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then
It's
I'm like,
perfect
"Oh,
time to be
maybe I
like,
better talk
oh,
about that."
how this could be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to help troubleshoot things that occur to me at the time. So,
Right.
but that's tentatively, I'm thinking 3-ish videos.
So at least 3 weeks and probably a month, huh?
Yeah,
I would say a month is a good amount of time.
I think so. Then people can like be finishing up and blocking if they have a holiday,
Over the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because I knit this in the weekend, and I am really slow. I
Okay.
mean, I'm really slow. Like, I can only knit for, like, 15 minutes, then I have to take a break. So,
Okay.
I feel like I'm on the very slowest end of the spectrum. So, I feel like a month is an easily achievable
Yes.
window of time.
Okay. I'm
So,
excited.
get on my newsletter so you can get the discount for the knitting
I got to
pattern.
do that. I'll put the link down below in the video description. You can just click right over and Heather does not spam you. You're going to get a newsletter that's very artfully done. And I have to tell you, she sends recipes sometimes. And I have made a couple of them and I was like, oh,
It's good, right? I mean, food and knitting do go together.
I know. It was that cranberry like cake stuff.
Yes, the Christmas cranberry
Yeah,
cake.
that was amazing. I don't even know if anyone got any or if I just ate it.
It's easy to eat for all the meals.
I might have hit it.
I also really love sending out, like, links to recipes that are super easy to set and forget, like in
Yes.
your Instant Pot or
Mhm.
one-pan, sheet pan meals so that you
Oh, I
can just
want to know
keep
about
knitting,
that.
man. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta get more time to knit, so Here's how I do it, the easiest
Okay.
possible meals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited for this.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much
Okay.
for inviting me to.
Yes. So people need to get their rippled sweaters, wrap it up, man. Get
Yep,
that done so then we can knit Scandi Bloom cowls for the summer.
let's do it.
Okay.
It's
So then you'll
so
be all set.
fun.
And I want to say that would make a fantastic gift if you have people knit worthy on your list. You could get started right away on your Christmas knitting.
Yeah, my mother, who I was with at the Oregon coast, was like, "Oh,
I want that.
I love this." So these are her colors. And
Does she know you're going to give her that?
I actually cast it on purpose, thinking, if I can part with it, she's the person who will get it.
If you can part with it. Maybe not. Maybe you'll have to just does
Too.
she knit? Does she
Nope,
knit?
nope.
Oh,
And she won't ever learn.
okay.
So,
Hmm.
and she also has no expectation of me knitting for her. Like, she
Oh,
knows
that's good.
that I have
She was
super
just
limited time to actually knit because I'm mostly dyeing.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the things that I do knit, like, mostly I keep them. But she and my dad are two knit worthy people that sometimes get stuff from me.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yep.
Yay! Okay, everybody needs to go
Hey,
sign up and sign up for your newsletter. Watch our Instagrams, and we'll be ready to be buying yarn and patterns on Friday, May 12th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you don't know what that time zone is for you,
just say, "Hey Siri, what time is 4 p.m. Mountain Time on the East Coast?" And it will tell you.
did she answer you just then?
Not out loud because my volume's off, but
Oh,
she give me links to
yeah, cool.
time
And if you
zone.
don't have Siri, I'm sure you can manage to figure it out. It's not that hard. Okay. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Jana. I will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.